All right, so I just want to show how I'm using the AI or how I used AI for this client. So this client was asking for some more variations of these designs. They read an Etsy shop and they use these kind of vector SVGs for their products, but they're looking for some custom design ones. And instead of me trying to replicate the style and build some of these out hand by hand, what I'm going to do instead is use AI for the process. So I just want to show how I actually go about doing that. So the tool I'm going to be using is Midjourney. This is not a tutorial on how to use Midjourney. It's just showing how I do use it for my own graphic design. All right, so these are the images that they sent me. So the first thing I'm doing is kind of analyzing it with my own eyes, kind of seeing what is the best prompt I can come up to describe these images in a way that the AI can understand it. So this first thing that comes to mind is African American. I'm seeing like a vector style line art and very simple shapes and design. So I'm kind of imagining those keywords and I'm going to use those within the prompt. So I'll take that prompt idea, plug that in, use as a prompt, and then I'll also combine that with the style reference, and then I'll also use an image prompt. And just to explain the difference between a image prompt and the style references, the image prompt is being used more so as I would say a shape. It's taken a lot more from the actual form and structure of the image, where the style reference is more so copying the feeling and mood of an image. So for this one, that's what I did. I ran the prompt that I came up with myself in combination with the image prompt and a style reference, and I just hit enter, and I'm just kind of experimenting and seeing what the results are and how close I can get to the original images. So I ran these a couple times and they were still feeling off. They weren't really giving the same type of mood or the same type of feeling that the original images were giving. So what I did was I ran the describe feature just to see how AI is actually looking at it, and I take those results, imagine all of them, and then I see which one is the closest to the style. And after I go through each one and see which one is closest to the images, I'll take pieces from that prompt that the describe came up with, or that the AI came up with, and I'll kind of combine that with my own prompt. And that way I'm kind of getting the best of both worlds to try to match that style as close as possible. So eventually what I ended up landing on was no image prompt, and using the prompt from the describe and a combination of my own prompt, and then 2 reference images only. So so once I was satisfied with how the prompts were turning out, I started running a bunch of those in that style and began to download all the images that I felt were the best. So I took these images, threw them to Photoshop, and this is where I start to clean up a lot of the AI imagery. So these AI images are good, but I still feel like they're a little bit too complex. If you see with these base images that they are very simple, very like big swooping shapes. So what I was doing was just kind of going into every single image and simplifying it and constantly checking the reference images to kind of match that feeling. And after that, I felt like they were done. They were feeling a lot closer to the base image. And so now it was time to turn these into vectors. So to turn these into vectors, all I did was go over to Illustrator, open the image, click it and you go over up to window and make sure you have image trace on. And if there's color in it, change it to color. If it's black and white, keep this to black and white. Hit trace. And if you go over to the properties panel, just hit expand and ungroup. And by doing this, it turns these into vectors, but I could also go in and edit some of the lines if I needed to. But a lot of them were good. And that was it. I exported these all as SVGs, and that is how I did it. So yeah, this is just showing you how you can use AI to really speed up your workflow. It's not something that has to be a replacement for what you do, at least in its current state. Doing something like this by hand would have taken me way longer. So now I'm able to give this client about, I think I created about 20 of these within about a couple hours or so. So it's just showing you how powerful AI really is when you combine it with your own knowledge with Photoshop and graphic design.